Welcome back, Profit Takers. It's your favorite YouTuber. We're back with another video, and today I want to cover three markets and talk about how to enter them. Okay, this is just specifically on how to enter the markets after you get the signal, right? Obviously, this is after the signal day, and you're coming to the charts and you're prepared to look for the specific setup for you to enter. That's number one. Oh, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Okay. And comment. Comments are also welcome. And thank you. Thank you so much. All right. So right now we're looking at the DJ. This is, let me drop down to M15. So the Dow, we had three, let me go back to, let me go back to the higher time frame. A little higher time frame, not the higher time frame, but a higher time frame here, M30. And let me just go ahead and annotate real quick. As you can see on my charts, guys, we were already looking for a short trade on Friday. Okay. Get my pen. All right, here we go. So last week, Monday started with an inside day. As we can see, Friday triggered longs in the market, right? Because it broke above the previous day high, which is also a range expansion. Okay. So Monday inside day triggered the high, right? Well, not technically because it didn't really hit any of the levels. So what I mean to say is Tuesday it triggered the low as a false break. Okay. And then we started to proceed on up to the trend, right? Because the longs are in the market. All right. So we had, day one of breakouts, 2, 3, and then 4. Okay. Technically, right? Because we broke out of the previous day range and we're continuing to expand the range. So on Friday, we're like, okay, we have 3 days of breakouts. The day started off breaking out, right? And pulling back in, right? And it started pretty darn early. I believe this was like at 8 o'clock. It's probably around, I remember it because it was starting to drop pretty early. And, the session hadn't quite started yet, but the markets were open. It was the pre-market. So anytime the market does that, right, just know that you're probably going to get a low-hanging fruit for New York and look for the long trade because this is definitely a dump and pump trade. So if you did take the reversal, which is what the setup was calling for, but however, we are up here at the high. So obviously a reversal trade at the high. After it's crossed the previous day high and the closing price level, you're free to take that trade, right? Absolutely. Take it. Right. Then here comes New York, and just know again, like I said, for New York, this 3-day reversal may or may not continue. Right. It just won't. We have to see how it's going to set up for us for New York. So for New York, when New York came, we had the low that was placed. Again, this is M15, and then we could see that we had a high, right? And then we had a higher high. But I already know that if this thing is dumping from the freaking sky, I'm already looking for this thing to pump in the 3rd hour or the 4th hour, right, of the day. Because this could, like I said, this could take a minute to set up because it needs to finish doing the low-hanging fruit for us to be confident in getting into the trade. And then as we can see, that it did line up nicely. Now this is MetaTrader. Let me look at the time on Trading View. So yeah, that was around 9:55. Let me break this. Let me go down to M5 here. Okay, so I'm looking at the right thing. So my dog is whining. She's ready to go to sleep. Sorry for the noise. So about 9:50, right? This bar right here, about 9:50, guys. This thing, right, finally gave us the go ahead right, to enter. And you could have used, this is the 20 EMA, right? And again, we had the high and then we had a higher high. So the last dump before the pump. And then you can just watch it, right? Did it take out the low? No, it didn't, right? So you just watch it. You see how it had the reversal patterns are starting to build, and then you can get in at this bar. So this was really like close to 10 o'clock in the morning, my time. So that's 11 o'clock Eastern, that this long trade actually played out. All right. So the other one that I took was the Russell. The Russell, let's go back to the higher time frame because I'm going to let you know what trade I was looking for, what setup I was looking for. All right, so the Russell, I was looking for the long trade. We had a confirmation, right? We had a confirmation here that this was our new peak, and this was like a reset. As you can see, I wrote the reset there. For this particular market, it had broke. Not only did it break the low, right? It broke the previous day high. So I already knew that this thing was going to give us a long trade. It was going to reset, and then of course, we had a higher high. Okay, and that's the setup for a dump and pump, and it also closed in breakout. So I was already looking for this thing to dump, and I was looking to take the long trade. And, we always expect that to happen, but, we just really don't know what the market's going to do when the day comes, when the time comes. But just like the Dow, it was dropping from the high, right? It was already dropping. And I was like, yeah, I love it when I see, this is M15. You see these little, I don't know what you call these. Steve Murray used to call these, COW. I can't remember the name, but there was a name for this. Something was like a wall or something. They used to call these things. I don't know, but I forgot the name, but they look like little tweezers, right? So when I see that, I'm like, heck yeah, it's about to be on, especially on the low or the high. If you can see, you see this particular pattern all the time. So I'm gonna drop down to M5, and then we can see even more clearly how this thing set up for us. Okay. And this one happened fairly early into the session. Like I said, I was watching it because I already knew that's what I was looking for. So about 8:30, once the market opened, let me see. Let's see. Yeah, this bar was at 8:25. So we had the pin hammer, then we had this bar here, which is just like a continuation, right? Confirmation of this hammer or the pin hammer. I don't know, whatever you want to call it. When that happened, this was like, okay, confirmation. Again, this is M5. So this was the front side of this, actually the back side of this particular drop, right? But then it's kind of like printing the W. So, we have another high, right? that it did build. So the target was originally the high of day, right? If it breaks out of this, because you really want it to break out, right? Because if it's going to go, it's going to go, right? But this was the trade. Right? We went ahead and entered in from here. You could have entered in even sooner, okay? But play it safe, enter there. And again, this is M5. All right. Let's look at NQ. NQ was also a, let's go to NQ. There we go. I was also looking for the reversal on this one after the big drop, because just like the Dow, it had the 3 days of breakout traders. Okay. Now we can look here real quick. On Friday, the market closed, triggering longs into the market, right? A nice range expansion, right? Other words. Okay. Monday, we had another break. Okay, and we just start the week over, right? Just like if you follow Stacy Burke, he just starts the week. Monday's day 1, 2, 3, and so forth. Okay, and the big thing for me with Stacy was that Wednesday, it just reset. Okay, it just reset. So here we go, guys. We have Friday high, and I've also identified that here with the green um, lines here. That's Friday's high breakout level. This is Friday's close, and then of course Friday's low. And these are the areas of breakout. So these lines, or these levels rather, is what I should say, are very important. So Tuesday broke out, so we're going to count that. Monday broke out, Tuesday broke out, continues to break out, and these days closed in breakout as well, slightly on Wednesday. Then of course Thursday closed in breakout. So here we are, 4 days, right? If we count all these days of the breakouts, right? And then we're in the 5th day on Friday. We're like, okay, this thing gotta give, okay? So again, just like the Dow, just like the Russell, it fell from the sky at the high. So earlier sessions were able to, London was able to take this one. If you got in early with Asia, I mean, and just held it all day, that was a fantastic trade for y'all. But come time for New York, again, low hanging fruit. And then we're looking for the reversal. So let me dive down. Let's go to M15 real quick. Let me go. Let's see here. 1 second. All right. So basically, by the time this thing hit the low, right, that was about 7:40 in the morning, right before the market opened. Or yeah, well, actually, for me, the market is open at 7. By the time this thing did its final pump and dump, right? We had this final one here. We had, the pump, the dump, and now I'm looking for this thing to pump once more. This was, let's see, that time was about 9:30, right? So we're well into the 3rd hour, okay? And that's why it's important. So right at 9:30, this is the time right here when we got these equal highs inside. Okay, again, higher highs inside. That's a dump and pump setup. Okay, and again, I was waiting for it to finish setting up because I already knew that this thing was not going short no more for the rest of the day, based on how the market dumped early in the session. Okay. And that was really it. We had that at 9:30. So it wasn't until darn near right 10:15 my time before this thing started to trend up. So this was a scalping opportunity. Obviously, by the time it got to the previous day high level, it started to go sideways. And once that happens, I'm just like, I'm done. I'm done with the trade. So it was a scalping opportunity because, again, if it was going to go, guys, and break out of the range, I mean, it was going to go, but it just didn't, right? And I just felt like, okay, last Friday, it did the very same thing. I'm thinking August might just be a low volume month. Maybe it's because school is back and, the market makers got to take their kids to school. I don't know. I'm just making stuff up. I really don't know. But yeah, the volume just hasn't been there on Fridays like it has been throughout, the summer. So you're just doing session trades. Okay, so just keep that in mind. All right, so guys, those are the entries for the Russell, the Dow, and the NQ, right? After the specific setups had occurred, right? How about that? How about that, guys? Let me know your thoughts. What did you take? And we'll see you in the next video. Ciao for now.